challenge, but I'll be honest with you, we see that challenge a lot. Players going in and the foot being left up. No, it's a bad. And obviously the consequence is a broken leg. We saw a worse challenge a year or so ago in Spain. Kylian Mbappe didn't even try and play the ball. Luckily, I think it was Elche or no, it wasn't Elche. Can't remember who it was. One of the smaller teams. Anyway, so that's a bad challenge, but that's a challenge you see a lot where a player goes in and the foot stays high and it catches another player. So that's not a challenge that is. You see that most weekends around Europe.
It's called doing somebody in the business.
Right.
And we all know when you've done it.
So why
if you get caught doing it, then you deserve the punishment that you receive.
You probably don't. You may know the answer.
I might have a few.
You may know the answer. You may not. Why is this any different? Did you say this is Brazil?
This is Brazil, and I think it's a landmark ruling in that he's suspended until that player's ready to play again.
Why now?
Why now? Yeah, I don't know.
Is this the first broken leg in Brazilian football? Yeah. No. Why now?
But Frank Leboeuf did bring this to our attention, so I wonder what you think of it, Frank.
Well, because I've said that a lot, and I know people didn't agree, and I was a defender, and I will try to defend, the people, who have been injured. There was two ways to say it. If you are Victor Gabriel, you say that he wasn't malicious, that you tried to play the ball, that you're deeply sorry, and I want to believe on everything he says. Okay, no problem. But now I put myself into Victor Pec foot, where I have a broken leg. For somebody who came attacking me, tackle me at 15 to 20 miles an hour, very fast, and broke my leg. And now I can't play football for 6 months maybe. And maybe I will go back to my best, maybe, if God wills. So I always said, and I'm going to keep that until my last breath, if you break a leg and you're not allowed somebody to play is what he has chosen to play for his life, you should be banned as long as the guy doesn't come back. That's why I think it's only fair. I'm sorry for Victor Gabriel, very sorry, but you broke a leg in football. I played 17 years, I never did that. It can be randomly, whatever it can be, but it's not the case.
So what happens when a player makes... I've seen a player break a leg and it wasn't even a foul. What happens there? I've seen a player get a broken leg and it wasn't a foul. Are we suspending people?
In the World Cup.
What do you mean? What do you mean it wasn't a foul?
I've seen a broken ankle and a broken...
Can you...
In the World Cup, Frank, the boy from Qatar just made an ordinary challenge. I'm not even sure whether he actually made any contact. And the guy broke his leg.
The Canada player? Talking about the Canada game?
Yeah, and then, of course, our good friend in charge of FIFA, they banned him for 5 games, but didn't do anything with Messi. But that was a challenge that wasn't even a foul. But the guy broke his leg.
That if there...
And this player as well, Frank, is saying that...
Would you want to ban somebody?
He's saying that there was...
Hold on, 1 second. Has he brought this up? Have a freaking bringing this nonsense up. What if a player makes a challenge and it's not a foul, and as a consequence of the challenge, both players are jumping in 50-50 ferociously, and one player, unfortunately, comes out worse than the other? With a broken ankle or a broken leg. Well, so what do you want to do? Do you want to suspend the other player until the other fella's broken ankle is healed?
No, it's a specific action. Of course, I won't do that. I won't because the guy didn't do it on purpose. But how can you say that specific action that he wasn't doing on purpose? He wanted to be bad. He wanted to be strong.
Well, this is a very what I'm going to say to you now is you're getting into something that would be a legal minefield, because we had this. There was this. You'll remember this. Dean Saunders and Paul Elliott.
Yep.
Dean Saunders and Paul Elliott. It was a challenge. You weren't at Chelsea at the time. Chelsea finished Paul Elliott's career. I'm not casting aspersions here. It finished Paul's career. It went to court. It was a legal minefield. The most difficult thing to prove in a lot of sports, but certainly in football, is intent. It's almost impossible, not impossible, but almost impossible to prove intent. And so if we're talking about who did what and meant what, that's a very grey area and a very difficult legal place to go. And believe me, maybe not in Brazil, I don't know, but in most other places that kind of thing will be challenged. And lawyers will say, prove the intent. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that Victor Gabriel is saying there was no malice. He didn't do it maliciously.
You have to prove there was, and it's a legal minefield.
Whose side are you on, though, Nedum? Are you on Frank's side, or are you on Craig and Stevie's side?
Listen, I love Frank, but I'm not on his side for this one in particular. Not least of all, just because there've been lots of games which I've played in where I've seen worse tackles than that, with even worse intent. I've heard people say, I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to go and do this guy. But because essentially somebody's leg isn't broken, you know, they might just get a telling off. They might just get a yellow card, might get the red, and everybody moves on. And I think for the case with this challenge here, if the guy didn't break his leg, the intent of the tackle is still the same. And I don't think the tackle itself means that the guy has to have a broken leg. For as bad as the tackle as it is, I think most people watching the show, listening, they have seen tackles similar or worse. And I think to go on to Craig's point about, say, the unfortunate nature of some of this, I think it was 2006, I was playing in a League Cup game for City against Doncaster, and I was somehow found myself like in the attack. Somebody played me in, and I took a historically bad touch. All of a sudden, it's me and the goalkeeper going through 1v1. But I got to the ball first. I tried to sort of chip it over him a little bit, and then we collided with each other after I had the shot. And I remember thinking, what a bad touch that was. I can't believe I've not scored. Then the referee came over and gave me a red card, and I was confused, like, what's this red card for? It's because the goalkeeper, Andy Warrington, who was playing for Doncaster at the time, he broke his leg. But I didn't even know that it wasn't even a challenge as such. He's basically collided with me. I got this red card. The next morning, the red card's been rescinded, but Andy Warrington still has a red card. You know, so, sorry, I still have a red card and he still has a broken leg. So you wonder to yourself, like, there are collisions that will happen within football, some which are meant, some which aren't. There are some people who are unlucky, some people who are lucky. And I think Andy in that moment, like, he's collided with me and ended up breaking his leg, but it wasn't because of a tackle. It was because of one of those footballing actions. And it's not to say that, you know, the tackle that was put in Brazil was like the best tackle we've ever seen. But if his leg wasn't broken, would he still be suspended for the same amount of time? I don't think so. So is it about the tackle or is it about the outcome? Because the outcome can really be a case of, essentially tossing a coin.
Oh, Frank, you're outnumbered today, mate.
I've heard them talk about this before. He's bored. He's threw this out to the producer.
An eye for an eye makes us all blind.
He's threw a bone to the producer, and the producer, like, it's just... It's
pre-season.
He's dived on it like...
No, because he really thought that was very useful to talk about it.
Well,
you know?
I don't think so.
Pickford, do you remember? What? You know what? Maybe we'll see. You know, remember Pickford with Van Dijk? Well, when Van Dijk got injured. Yeah, I think...
Yeah, no, we appreciate his contribution.
No, I don't appreciate his contribution. We're talking about something that would never happen because of the legal minefield in Europe. So he's brought this up before.
But legally...
And he was shot down the last time. He was absolutely shot down in flames the last time. And he's coming back.
Brazil has set the precedent now, though.
How many times... How many times in that show we talked about the same subject? Okay, are you kidding me or what?
To be fair, I'd rather talk about the broken leg than Man City for 35 minutes. By the way, I loved how Nedum went, it was a historically bad touch. I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I think the word you were looking for was normal.